I am G.S. Giridhar, Director, Race Institute, training institution for bank examinations. The career in banking is really good. The growth, the career in banking industry is really good. As that is the reason the students, most of the students are nowadays are towards banking industry, and the growth here is good. See, every banks now, all public sector banks are following fast track promotion methods, so that the promotion is very good. So those who join as clerk, and every now and then, like every 1 year, banks will conduct internal examinations. If a candidate join as a clerk, so the next promotion will be PO, probationary officer, scale 1 officer, an officer under a probation period for 2 years, training period for 2 years. Once he completes his training, he will be taken as assistant managers, officers in the banks, and after that one, next level will be scale 2 officer. So then generally they call it as managers. Next is scale 3 officer, then scale 4 officer, chief manager, scale 5, scale 6 and scale 7, general manager cadre. So after scale 7 they can go to in other public sector banks are GMDs, AMDs and chairmans. It's like this. So that career is very good, not like earlier, like as completion of the service and all, they will be promoted to the next level. But whereas now every bank is conducting fast track promotion methods, so that promotions are very quickly they are getting. So that if you join as a clerk, there is a possibility for you to become up to the general manager level by the time you retire. Or whereas if you join as a PO, so there is every possibility for you to become the chairman of the bank. There is the highest post of the bank if you are young and talented enough. There is every possibility is there. Now let us see about the examinations and all. If you come to clerical examination. So clerical examination, the eligibility for the now IBPS is conducting common examinations for both clerical and POs for all other public sector banks than SBI and its group. So for these things, actually the examination eligibilities we will see for SBI, IBPS clerical examination. The age will be 20 to 28 years, and the graduation eligibility qualification is a graduation pass. And these things for the 2013, by 1/8/2013 they have to complete 20 years and below 28 years, and they have to complete graduation also. And the examination pattern will be, there are 5 sections in the examination, namely numerical ability, reasoning, English, general awareness and computer knowledge. For these 5 sections, total 200 questions will be there in 200 marks, and the total time will be 2 hours, 120 minutes. And the candidate has to qualify in each and every section, so that all sections are important to qualify that one, so that every section is important. So they have to give priority to all these sections, and there are even negative marks. So if the student gives a wrong answer, they will be losing the marks. 1/4 of the mark or 0.25 marks allotted to that particular question, they will be losing. From their allotted marks, they will be losing these marks. So that they have to be very much careful about the wrong answers. And this examination will be conducted online, and there is plenty of time. There are about a good time is there for the examination. And now let us see all these 5 subjects. If it is a numerical ability, so numerical ability is arithmetic and simplifications. The arithmetical part, topics like number system, percentages, averages, ratio proportion, partnership, profit and loss, simple interest and compound interest, then time and work, time and distance, mensuration. Questions will be there from all these topics. So that the topics which are there in school books, so like whatever the syllabus it may be, you can see all these topics in ICSE, SSE and CBSE. You can find all these topics over there up to schooling. So just go through all those topics and first you should know the basics of all these topics. Once you are thorough of these things, then go for various books which are available in the market, quantitative aptitude or arithmetic, and practice various models of questions of those things. And after completion of these things, they have to practice so many model papers. So of these particular things and model questions also. And time is very much important for this one. So they have to see the time and practice all these questions of the arithmetic. Then reasoning. The reasoning, generally questions will be there from directions, seating arrangement, then blood relations, puzzle test. Okay, all these various questions will be there in clerical cadre. And as the examination is conducted online, there are no non-verbal questions. which students may fear about that one. There won't be any non-verbal questions in this one. So, that is one good thing, and they have to be thorough of these topics, all these topics, and frequently they have to, when they see the model papers, previous papers, they will come to know how many questions are coming from these things. That will be a good thing for them. And coming to general English also, in fact, we can divide into 3 parts for this examination, like comprehension, vocabulary, and grammar. There are good number of grammar questions based on like correction of sentences, jumbled sentences, rearrangements of sentences, close test, all these things will be there. So, once you are thorough of this grammar part, it will be easy for you to solve all these questions. And about comprehension, 10 questions or even 15 questions you can get from comprehension. So, for this one actually the students have to practice a lot of reading. So, when they read more, they will come to know, I mean they can read fastly and understand fastly, that is important for them. So, they have to practice these things, any magazines or books or whichever newspapers, whichever are there in English, they have to practice a lot, they have to read a lot and see that fastly they are reading that one, that they have to practice, which is highly useful for comprehension. And one tip for this solving comprehension questions is, you can read questions first and later go to the passage if it is, then also you can answer quickly also. So, and next every day if you can make it I mean 4 to 5, if you can learn 4 to 5 new words with synonyms and antonyms, opposite words also to that one, it will be then you can make it many words. So, that will be easy for the vocabulary, will be easy for you, at least 4 to 5 questions every examination you can have questions from this one. So, you can make that one also easy. So, then coming to general awareness, any general awareness for bank examinations is current affairs for last 5 to 6 months. So, with a special emphasis on economy, finance, banking industry. So, for this one they have to every day read the newspaper from the date of the examination, they have to go back 5-6 months and see all the current affairs topics with a special emphasis of all this economy, banking and financial things. And reading newspaper daily is a very good thing, and especially a business page on that one, and it would be highly useful if they read a business paper like Business Line or Economic Times kind of things, and prepare their own notes which will help them to recollect immediately when they go for the examination. So, that they have to prepare these notes on their own and practice, then they can score good marks in general awareness too. And coming to computer knowledge, if you can observe all these examinations of previous papers, they can see basics of computers they will be asking, like basics of computers, computer parts, and like computer programming, networking, all these things will come. And my advice to these things is, better go through the previous papers and they will come to know what type of questions are coming, what standard of questions they are getting in the examination. Then in that way they can prepare well. And one thing you remember, computer knowledge is the one subject where you can score more marks like general awareness also. So, you prepare for all these 5 sections separately, then go for model papers of consisting all the sections of 200 questions like previous papers, and practice with the time, as the time management is very important in bank examination. So, as you have to qualify in each and every section, so give preference to all these sections and allocate your time much before to the examination. So, if you can divide this one, like the most preferable timing will be, you can say for 40 minutes you can give to numerical ability, 35 minutes for reasoning, 25 minutes for English, and the remaining 20 minutes, 10 minutes each for computer knowledge and general awareness. So, allocate the timings like this to all these 5 sections and stick to the timings, and see that how many questions you are attempting in that one. While practicing period only, you have to check up these things, and if the number of questions are less when you are solving, try to improve your practice and see you are scoring, I mean you are attempting more questions. So, the same pattern you have to follow much before the examination and continue the examination. Then you can deliver very well in the time of examination. So, this will be useful for you. So, do not forget, as your negative marks, if you know the answer you go for it, otherwise do not attempt that one. But the time management is very important. So, do not bother about the difficulty level of the paper. If the paper is difficult, you may answer less questions. If the paper is easy, you may answer more questions. And never try to attempt all the questions of that particular section, because that may affect other sections when you take more time naturally here. So, stick to the timings and the preferable timings also, I mean sections also, start from general awareness, then computer knowledge, English, then reasoning, and finally numerical ability. If you can go like this and follow like this, the definitely you can get success easily in IBPS clerical examination. And now let us see IBPS PO examination, and it is really a very good one. Many aspirants would be aspiring for this IBPS PO for joining public sector banks. And if we join as a PO, so probation officer, scale 1 officer, so then scale 2 officer, scale 3 officer, up to scale 7 officer, you can go for it. That is general manager cadre. And for POs only, there is every possibility for you to become the highest post of the bank. That may be MD or chairman, you can go for that one. So it's most of the bank aspirants, it's a dream for them to become a PO. So let us see the PO pattern. There are 5 sections in PO examination, namely quantitative aptitude, reasoning, English, general awareness, and computer knowledge. And there will be 200 questions. We can say 40 questions each for all these 5 sections, and there are 2 hours time, 120 minutes. And as the examination is online, there is no descriptive test here, and the candidate has to qualify in each and every section separately to qualify in this examination. And there are negative marks too. If the question is correct, they will get the marks, and if it is if it is wrong, they will lose marks 1/4 or 0.25 from the selected marks, from the marks which they got. So that they have to be very much careful. And as all the sections, they have to qualify individually, all sections are important to concentrate. So they have to prepare well for all these 5 sections. Let us come to these sections. If it is a quantitative aptitude, see, quantitative aptitude means arithmetic simplifications and data interpretations. So 40 questions generally from this section. So almost we can say about 15 questions we can get from data interpretation, and about 10 questions from simplifications, and the balance questions they get from number series and various questions of arithmetic topics. So student has to be thorough of this all the arithmetic topics, and to make to data interpretation easy, they have to be thorough with percentages, averages, and ratios, apart from simplifications. Once they are thorough of these things, data interpretation questions will be easy for them. And better to remember tables 20 to 25, as simplifications will be easy once they know these tables and all. And they practice a lot, they have to practice a lot for especially quantitative aptitude to score more marks, as generally it is the time taking section. So the more practice definitely will help them to answer more questions. And coming to reasoning, and comparing to the clerical examination, there will be higher level of questions from reasoning, topics like apart from the topics like directions, blood relations, seating arrangement, puzzle test, and all. There will be questions from critical reasoning, questions like statements assumptions, statements conclusions, statements course of actions, input output, puzzle test, and these kind of questions we can see. And off late if we can observe, so there are questions of seating arrangement, includes a mixture of puzzle test also. So they have to practice a lot with by covering all these topics, and this is one of the beautiful subjects where non-mathematics students also can score good marks in this one. And coming to general awareness section, general awareness is generally about 5-6 months current affairs, and with a special emphasis on banking industry. So students has to cover all these current affairs from the date of examination 5-6 months back, and cover all these topics by preparing their own notes with all these things, and better cover a business paper every day, newspaper every day, and prepare their own notes. They can score more marks in this one. And next, let us come to general English part. And if you can observe, for students, most of the students, the failing section is general awareness. The more students are failing in general awareness. So even though it is not a difficult subject, or at the same time easy subject, you have to score more marks. Whether you like the language or not, you have to score more marks. So try to see this language. As you can see, then in English language there are 3 sections. We can divide this section into 3 parts, like comprehension, vocabulary, and grammar part. So based on this grammar part only, most of the questions, almost 50% of the questions you can get. So you can observe the models of questions which are coming in bank examination, and try to prepare for that one, and which part of grammar is difficult to answer such questions, go through that one and practice a lot. And for comprehension, you have to read a lot. If you can read, the reading speed will increase and you can attempt more questions, you can answer more questions. You can try to improve your vocabulary, where there are about 4 to 5 questions you get from this examination. So try to learn new words every day, if possible 10 words every day. If you can make it, you can have a very good vocabulary which is useful for you to answer the questions in bank examination. So the next one, let's come to computer knowledge. And the computer knowledge, if you can observe, most of them are basics about basics of computer, parts of computer, languages, and with various shortcuts, MS Office, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, questions from this one, various shortcuts in this one, and networking, internet, email, all these things, questions will be there from this one. So just go through all those things, and one section where you can score more marks of this one. So if you can prepare well of all these sections by giving importance to every section, so you just practice well with time management, as it is very important, as every section you have to qualify individually, and the time also very less. Allocate your timing much before to the examination. So if you can do so, for bank PO examination, there are 2 hours time, 120 minutes, and as for all the 5 sections you can give, and the best allocation time will be 40 minutes for quantitative aptitude, 35 minutes for reasoning, 25 minutes for English, and 10 minutes each for computer knowledge and general awareness. And allocate these timings and practice with these timings only, and stick to the timings. Don't try to take even a second more than the allocated time to that section, and see the number of questions, how many you are answering in that one. If it is less, try to improve your practice and see you are scoring more, you are answering more questions in that particular section. And then if you can practice like this, your examination will be just another practice paper for you. You can deliver 100% of your thing in the examination and score more marks. And don't forget, you have negative marks. If you know the answer, go for it, otherwise don't go for that one. If you can practice well, and the examination will be easy for you, and definite success also for you. So RACE Institute is an exclusive training institution for bank examination, and the course also designed to get success in short period for the students. And as the success in bank examinations is with 2 things, one is learning, other one is practicing. So both are equally important. So student has to learn the things first and practice a lot, because the number of questions are more with less time. So these 2 are important things. So we give importance, preference to both these things, as in the course half of the time is for learning basics and of all the sections of the topics, and half of the time is for practice. So every day there will be test for them, so to the students, so that they will be in touch of the practice right from day 1, and they learn the things and practice. And we do conduct right from day 1 they join the course, we do conduct mock test, full length mock test, like paper of just like the examination we conduct, and they will be knowing where they are standing, their position. If they are scoring less, they can improve more for the next examination. Like that, every time we do conduct even these things also, and by the time they finish the course, they will be thorough of these basics, and all these with the practice they can be able to answer more questions in this one, and with, of course, with the full mark test and all. And we do provide them study material where they can practice more at home after the course or even after the classes also. And we are having branches, 5 branches in Hyderabad, like Amirpet, Dilsukanagar, Secunderabad, Himayatnagar, and Kokatpalli, that's in KPHP. So all these 5 sections, the same training will be there, and there are various every day 2 hours batches, regular batches, various timings, 7 to 9 morning, 10 to 12 morning, and 12 to 2, 4 to 6, and even 6 to 8 for working people, mornings and evenings, and for weekend batches, even for working people, where we do conduct classes on Saturdays and Sundays. So for all the people, for all the sections of people, there are batches, and the same training will be same kind of training will be available in all the branches, and you can available. And this is the design of the course, and the practice which we give here will allow the student to get success in less time of 2 months. 2 months is very much enough to get success with the training.